This is a review for War Thunder, which is a game that sort of snuck up out of nowhere, unless you've been really following its development. It's made by Gaijin Interactive, and it's an interesting flying game, and it's not going to just be planes, there's going to be tanks and ships in it when they eventually add it. So this review is just going to be for the aerial combat segment of the game, which has been released so far, and it's still in quite early beta at the moment. Now, up until recently, the game wasn't on Steam, so you could only really find out about it if you saw an advert somewhere or somebody linked you to make an account. And essentially, it's World War II and early Korean War gameplay, with everything from reservist biplanes up until early jets, such as the MiG-15. And it's a very good game for what it is. It's free to play at the moment, but by the look of it, it's going to cost money once the full game is released. And it does have microtransactions in it, but this is one of the few games I've played with microtransactions where they don't actually ruin or completely unbalance the game. Because there's a good system in the game which stops planes from playing against each other unless they're of a very similar rank. And if you have a low-level plane and a high-level plane, and you want to use the low-level plane in a high-level game, you can do that, but you can't use a high-level plane in a low-level game due to how the tier system works. The only real advantage paying money gives you is that you level up faster, which won't affect other players, and you can level your crew up faster, which will affect other players, but a fully maxed out crew will not stop a bad player and make them be good at the game. So let's have a look at some of the features of the game. The game has several different air forces in it for you to play. It has the United States Air Force, the German Luftwaffe, the British RAF, the Soviet Air Force, and the Imperial Japanese Army Air Force. And basically how it works is each Air Force has its own tier ranking tree, as you can see in these pictures. As you level up that country's Air Force, you can buy new planes from different tech trees. You have to purchase the previous planes to buy the later ones, but if there's an update and they add a lower tier plane in, you can skip it. So how it works is you buy the planes in the series, and then you can use them in the game. And as you level up, you unlock the new planes, and then you can choose which planes you want to use. So every country will have different types of fighters, different types of bombers, support planes, ground attack planes, things such as that. And each plane has a level rank associated with it, and this is how the game gets balanced out. The highest plane you have in your deck will be the one that you take into the game as what will basically find a game for you using that plane's rank. So if you have a level 5 plane, and that's your highest rank plane, you'll be putting like level 5, level 6 games. It won't put you in a lower tier game. So that means a high level plane can't enter a low tier game. However, if you want to, you can put lower tier planes with a higher tier plane to take them into a high level game, which is quite fun if you manage to shoot down the jet using a biplane. Now, this system works very well, and it's used for the matchmaking, and it also means that the game's not going to be completely outbalanced by people who have paid money to get the highest level planes straight away, and then they can't use them against you as a beginner player. So you've got a nice difficulty curve in the game where it doesn't actually break due to a leveling up system in it. You can see in these pictures that there's planes currently in the deck, so you can see on the RAF one there's a Spitfire there, and you can see at the bottom of the screen the other planes in the deck with their level ranks next to them. And for the Russians there's the Yak-15P jet fighter with a couple of other planes below in the picture. So what will happen is the highest rank plane in this deck will be the one it will find the games for, and any lower rank planes you've got in that deck will be just used in that game. So when you get to higher level games, you'll find that there's still a few low level planes people are using in there with the high level planes. Now, there is even more complexity to it because you can upgrade crews and upgrade planes, and I'll show you a picture now of the plane upgrade screen. Here you can see the upgrade screen for the Ilyushin 10 ground attack plane as Russia, and also the M62 biplane as Russia. Now, the Ilyushin 10 I haven't maxed out yet, and the biplane has been. So on these screens you can see upgrades that have been purchased and ones that are still available, and the more you play the plane, the more XP you get for the plane, and then you can buy the upgrades once you get to the XP unlocks for each upgrade. And once you've got all the upgrades, you can increase the performance of your plane, and you can often mount things like bombs or rockets to the plane, and you can also change the ammo belts in it, so you can use tracer belts, incendiary belts, things like that. So it gives you a lot more stuff to play around with than just the plane. It's well, just like the planes in your deck, you can also modify the planes to the playstyle that suits you to a degree. Now, gameplay takes place in two types of maps. Domination maps, where you have to capture an airfield and hold them, and in these game modes, the team wins by holding the airfields. And ground attack, where you win the game either by destroying all the enemy ground units or by destroying the enemy's airfield. Now, in all these game modes, if the enemy team runs out of planes, you win the game. And I'd say I prefer domination to ground attack game modes, but both are quite fun. And I'll probably be adding more game modes into the game later on as it's developed. So you can use, say, heavy bombers in ground attacks game modes to bomb out the enemy vehicles. And in the aerial game modes, like such as domination, you can use fighters better to try and control the airfields. And once you complete a game, you'll get a load of XP and a load of lions. And lions are the in-game currency for buying planes, so you don't have to pay money for those. You get them from basically playing the game, and XP will help you level up your country and level up the planes in your country. And then you can spend that in-game currency and XP to get new planes, essentially. There are three game styles in the game to cater to different target sort of audiences, although lots of people play all of them. First you have arcade battles, which is the one I play the most, where planes don't handle all too realistically. You can reload the plane in the air after a delay time, and it's basically just dogfighting with loads of different planes on loads of different sides. Then you have the slightly more realistic historical battles, where all the planes will be from one nation on one side and another nation on the other. So historical battles will be things like the Battle of Britain, where one team will all be playing the Luftwaffe and one team will all be playing the RAF. And in these game modes, planes take more damage, they don't handle as well. If you go too fast in a plane, it can tear apart, things like that. Then you have full real battles, which is the most realistic game mode, and you need a joystick to play those. War Thunder has very good mouse controls for planes if you don't want to use a joystick in the first two game modes. So yes, I definitely recommend this game. It's very good for a free game, and while they might charge for it later on, you can always try it while it's free. The easiest way of downloading it is simply just to go to the Steam store. You can find War Thunder on there and download it for free and play it for free. You'll need to make an in-game account, but once that's all sorted out, you can play the game. And it is a lot of fun, and it's quite surprising because I haven't heard much about it from mainstream sort of gaming websites. It seems to be a game that snuck out of nowhere and is a lot of fun. I started playing it before the Steam release, but it's still, not a game loads of people seem to know about. And for a free-to-play game at the moment, it's of an exceptionally good quality. So definitely give it a try.